So, lads, Caitlin Clark did not play last night for the Indiana Fever. And tonight, Paige Bueckers is not playing for the Wings. And they're killing the Mystics. I'm in shock at this result. I really am. But at the end of the day, they're destroying them. But we have to talk about this. We have to talk about this quote. And I think it is one of those big things where it's like, the young players get it, mostly. They mostly get it. The young players mostly get it. Like, there's no more, they're watching for me to arguments. I mean, let's be real. There was some validity to that argument. However, the most important thing about this all is that people stay. And Paige is on the money with her quote. So this is her saying, people come in and tune for Caitlin and end up fans of so many other athletes as like a positive thing. And this is exactly what everyone has argued. This was like, if you guys have seen Christine Brennan. You guys have seen Christine Brennan. So Christine Brennan, basically, she went and she was talking about the Olympics and everything. And she was just talking in general about the WNBA. She was talking about the Olympics and why they should have brought Caitlin. It was like they clearly didn't want Caitlin. They didn't think, they were like, they just actively did not want her there. And it was like they didn't realize that it would have been a dream team type scenario, and people that would have been huge fans of Caitlin would have come in and seen Angel Wilson killing it, would have seen Breanna Steward and become fans of them. But then it just became the opposite, where it's like Caitlin fans they now know who these people are, but like there's now a situation where like as great of a coach as Cheryl Reeve is, and I think people can admit Cheryl Reeve's a great coach, but there's no like fandom towards Cheryl Reeve, if we're being honest. It's not like people are like huge fans of Cheryl Reeve as a person. People are huge fans of the way that situation was handled. I think we can all be honest, in hindsight, that like it's not good. It's not been a good all-around year since, and it was not a good look, and it was a bad call. And at least Dawn Staley in hindsight, like, she at least admitted that they probably would have brought her if it was then. But again, Dawn Staley had lost all power at that stage to do anything, so look, it is what it is. But this quote is right. Paige is on the money. And first of all, I don't think Paige Bueckers is not that she's not geared for the spotlight. I don't think Paige Bueckers is geared to just switch off like Caitlin is. I don't think she's geared for that level of fandom. And I don't think most people are. Like, I think most people aren't. Most people aren't. I don't think most people are geared or like driven like Caitlin Clark. And most people aren't wired like Caitlin Clark. Where you've seen everything where it's like Caitlin Clark the basketball player and Caitlin Clark the person are two different things. As soon as she's out of basketball mode, it's like a switch. And then suddenly she's the face of basketball right now. And that's pressure that I don't think anyone really wants to deal with. It's pressure. Let's be real. If we were that good at a sport, none of us would want to deal with it. Absolutely none of us would want to deal with it. And like, it's not great. It's not great. Like I've been a full-time content creator since I was 19 years old. And I don't think that I could deal with not only like the crazy fandom of like a Speed or a Kai Cenat, but like even some of the guys that I would have been in a similar like video game 2K community. Like I don't even think I could deal with the level of like fame of like a Jesser or an LSK or a Cash Nasty, any of those guys. I've been around these guys. I've been in public with these guys, seeing them get swarmed by random people. Like, I couldn't deal with that. And obviously, look, Paige is probably still going to get swarmed if she walks down the streets, but not to the extent of a Caitlin Clark. And not everyone wants to be this ultra celebrity. And that's fine. That's fine. But you can take advantage of it, which is what players like Paige Bueckers are doing, because there's a hell of a lot of people that watched her game yesterday. A hell of a lot of people watched that game. And even with Caitlin out, a hell of a lot of people bought tickets to see Caitlin versus Paige, and we're like, you know what? We're going to keep going. We're going to go to the game just to see Paige. Even if Caitlin's not there. Even if she's not there. Paige is good enough that we're going to go to see Paige. And that is a great sign for women's basketball. It's a great sign for everyone. And it is a good sign. Like, the only problem is now is that, like, there's a lot of teams where their individual players maybe aren't that hyped. And there is still a amount of, like, I'm not going to use the word jealousy, but resentment towards Caitlin Clark from a lot of older players. And it's a weird one because any of the smart older players are thinking to themselves, okay, cool. We're just going to dominate and we're not going to cause any trouble. And, you know, fans are going to like us. Or you do the opposite. You do the opposite and you get in with the Hatelins. You become Dejanay or you become Angel Reese, where it's like, okay, cool. We're going to do certain things to pander to a fan. Well, maybe not even as much Angel Reese. That's a bad example. Since that thing, Angel Reese hasn't really done anything. But whether you're Dejanay Carrington, who's trying to go viral amongst a social media relevant group of people that hate Caitlin Clark. Let's be real, they don't watch basketball games. But it's gotten Dejanay a shoe deal. It's got Dejanay paid well in Unrivaled, and it's got Dejanay's name in public. Because let's be real, Dejanay Carrington was the 4th best player on one of the most boring teams to watch in the WNBA last year. If she didn't make a name for herself by being the anti-Clark, like, no one knows who Dejanay Carrington is. But at the end of the day, Paige is right. Caitlin's the face of the league. And you know what? You can be, if you are that second, not even the main face, but if you are the, like, second biggest name in the league, of a league that is now relevant, mostly because of one player, you're making millions and millions and millions. I think Paige is already a multi-millionaire. But, like, Paige is going to start making millions and millions and millions of dollars. And that's the thing where, like, you don't want players. Like, players don't have to be buddy-buddy. Players don't have to all team up with Caitlin. But it does not pay to be anti-Caitlin Clark in the long run. It does not pay. Because let's be real, those Caitlin Clark villain spots have already been taken. You can make a lot of money as the villain. Or you can see with a lot of other players how much money Fee Collier has made. Fee Collier, it's not like Fee Collier is pandering to Caitlin fans. It's not like Fee Collier is doing anything. She's making so much money. But again, like, she's probably not as respected as a lot of other players because that agent that both her and Caitlin share is terrible. But you've got, like, Sophie, obviously, and Lexi, who are probably realistically going to be making 7 figures in this calendar year. Aaliyah Boston's making even more money due to that association. And yeah, all around, like, just being honest. Being honest about things, you will make 100 times more money. And it's like, most of these players don't want to be the face of the league. Trust me, it's not an easy thing to be the face of the league. But being, as Paige Bueckers is, the second most relevant player in this league, is going to be huge. It's going to be huge financially. It's going to be huge for relevance. And the more the league grows, the better off you are. If this league has 10 million fans and you are the second most popular player, you're in a better position than the league having 500,000 fans and you being the most popular player. And it's one of those things the older WNBA players, a lot of them don't seem to understand. However, you can see it in a lot of these young players. A lot of these young players, in fairness, they did come from NIL. These young players, a lot of them have been millionaires from a young age. Like, even Aaliyah Chavez demanded $1 million to go play as the #1 high school recruit. So yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.